Imagine that you reach the peak of your art, your niche, or your sport. The whole world is watching your success, and you will bring an honor to every coach and mentor you've ever had. Then you have to walk away, understand that your mental health is blocking your physicality. Maybe you can relate having experienced or witnessed this, or maybe you can resonate being a college student, athlete, musician, or performer. Superstar Olympian Simone Biles lived this, and as noted by Nick Dermott in 2024 in a public relations review, she withdrew from the women's gymnastics team tryout in the 2021 Tokyo Olympics. In this shocking moment, the world saw that sport isn't always about physical health and reach, but about awareness and prioritizing your needs that maybe not everybody else can see. Today, we will journey through the life of Simone Biles and her career, along with the stamp she has left in sports. Biles is a noteworthy individual for a multitude of reasons. She's advocating for mental health, speaking openly about being a victim of sexual abuse, even openly testifying in U.S. Congress for gymnastics reform, as Brian Naylor recorded in NPR. These are just some examples proving how she's a courageous young woman creating a legacy inside and outside of sports. Today, you'll get a glimpse into how her upbringing and character traits have a legacy across the nation, and why she deserves a presented award, Courage and Excellence in Sports. Although I have no personal relationship to Simone Biles, I've followed her story and have seen value through many different lenses. As an athlete, as a woman, and as an American, I witnessed her not only achieve the peak of her sport, but also be evolutionary for mental health. Her discipline, humility, and honesty have influenced all generations and cultures. She has shown us it's not just about the medals, but about her authentic leadership across the platform.
Hello, everyone. This is Dave Ramirez, and this is the Simone Biles biography, who is widely recognized as the world's best female athlete and competes at the U.S. women's gymnastics team. And this is just some basic knowledge about Simone Biles, who she is, and how she grew up to be the person that she is today, now. And to start off, guys, Simone Biles was born in March 14th in 1997 in Columbus, Ohio, where she spent most of her life in foster care due to her mother using illegal substances. And then thank God for her grandparents adopting her and her siblings as well, where they became their tutors and legal guardians as well. So how did Simone Biles become so obsessed with gymnastics? Was that in a daycare that she was being taken care of, they took her to a gymnasium where she started being fascinated by this gymnastics athlete, and then a coach at the gymnasium there at the moment started noticing some Simone Biles movements where she perfectly executed every one of the movements of the athletes that were she was performing. And then now her grandparents was so fascinated by this, and then took her enrolled her into this program where she started doing gymnastics at a very young age, at the age of 6. So now fast forward now 2011, where she is now 14 years old. She is now doing competitions at a national level and now winning like around about 25 competitions at this time. And then now fast forwarding in 2016, where she is now competing in a U.S. Olympics team, which is really big news, where she is now 16 years old and where she performs and now ends up in the podium, earning four gold medals and one bronze medal, which is very huge news at this time, due to the fact that she was 16 years old and winning so many gold medals, which is great news about her. And then also she's also wide known for her movements and new movements that she created herself. And there's now, I guess, skills and techniques that are called after her, which is really impressive. And then also she's taken being recognized for using athletes' mental health very seriously, using her platform to advocate for athletes' mental health. Where if you're an athlete and you're not performing really great, and there's something occurring in your life right now, that you're not alone. She uses her platform to testify, as where she was in a sexual abuse one time, at one point, my bad, and he uses her platform to call out any athlete that's being held in trouble, or if you're being feared or intimidated by someone else, that you should raise your voice. And she advocates for that type of platform and whatnot. And then she also uses her platform to not just be not just about winning, but also about resilience and courage, and uses her voice to protect others. And one way that her legacy continues on was to inspire young athletes, showing true greatness and comes in form of integrity, compassion, and the courage to put health and humanity first. So basically, she uses her platform to inspire others to not being feared, but not by anybody, and then also that her work speaks for herself as well.
Hello everyone, I'm Esther Garvin, and I have the privilege of sharing what makes Simone Biles not just a champion, but a powerful example of courage and excellence. Let's explore the legacy she's leaving behind and the kind of person she truly is. Simone's legacy goes far beyond gymnastics medals, yet she's one of the most decorated gymnasts of all time. But more importantly, she changed what we value in an athlete. She showed the world that greatness is also about knowing your limits and speaking your truth when she stepped back during the 2021 Olympics to protect her mental health. It wasn't a sign of weakness, it was ultimately an act of strength. Her impact isn't just about performance, it's about who she is as a person. Simone Biles is incredibly humble and grounded despite her fame. She uses her platform to raise awareness for others, especially survivors of abuse, and she doesn't seek praise, she simply does what's right with grace. People who know her describe her as funny, loyal, and incredibly supportive. If you knew Simone personally, you'd be around someone who lifts you up. She's the kind of friend who celebrates your wins louder than her own. She encourages others to keep going while also reminding them that their worth isn't based off of their successes. Her warmth and honesty make her a leader, both in and out of the gym. One of the quotes that defines her legacy is, "I'm more than my medals." That's the message she lives out, and that's why people from all walks of life admire her. Because of her courage, athletes across all sports are now talking openly about mental health. She's helped shift the conversation, showing that prioritizing your mind is just as essential as training your body. She's also become a role model for women of color, showing that they belong in elite spaces and deserve to be protected and respected. Simone's legacy is built on 5 traits that define her character. She is courageous, honest, compassionate, grounded, and deeply empowering to others. She deserves the award because she's a symbol of courage and excellence, an example for future generations, and embodies everything the award represents. Now that we've seen who Simone is at her core and the impact she's had on others, let's take a closer look at the award we're presenting her and why she embodies every part of it.
Now for the moment we have all been waiting for, the award. So what is the Courage and Excellence in Sports Award? It's presented to athletes who demonstrate both unmatched performance and exceptional courage. This includes not just breaking records, but also breaking barriers, standing up for what's right, overcoming adversity, and inspiring change. It celebrates those who lead with their heart as much as their talent. To be considered for the Courage and Excellence in Sports Award, an individual must meet 2 essential qualifications. First, being excellence, which is demonstrated unmatched skill and consistent success in their athletic career, setting records or pushing the boundaries of what's possible in their sport. And 2, courage, displayed personal bravery, whether by overcoming injury, adversity, or using their platform to speak out on important social issues. This award doesn't just recognize physical strength, it honors athletes who show mental toughness, emotional resilience, and the ability to inspire others beyond the scoreboard. The spirit of this award has been embodied by many legendary athletes throughout history. Jackie Robinson broke the racial barriers in the Major League Baseball. Despite constant hostility, he showed immense courage both on and off the field. Muhammad Ali sacrificed years of his boxing career by taking a stand against the Vietnam War, and remained an outspoken advocate for civil rights. And lastly, Serena Williams, who dominated tennis for over 2 decades while fiercely advocating for gender equality, maternal rights, and representation for women of color in sports. These individuals didn't just win, they changed the game. And Simone Biles stands firmly in that same category. Like them, Simone Biles has transformed her sport and her platform through courage. Simone Biles is the most decorated gymnast in the history of the sport, holding a combined total of 32 Olympic and World Championship medals. Her excellence is undeniable, but what sets her apart and makes her deserve this award is her courage. In 2021, at the height of the Tokyo Olympics, Simone made the difficult decision to withdraw from several events to protect her mental health. This move shocked the world, but also shifted the global conversation about what strength in sports truly means. Instead of pushing through in silence, she led by example, proving that prioritizing mental well-being is a form of strength and not weakness. She represents the idea that champions don't just perform, they persevere, especially when it's hardest. Her willingness to be open about her struggles has paved the way for a healthier sports culture, one where athletes are viewed as a whole people and not just machines. Her return to competition in 2023 and win at the World Championship was more than a comeback. It was a statement of resilience. Through her story, young athletes around the world now know that they can too prioritize mental health and still be great. I'm more than my medals. Simone Biles has proven that excellence is more than what happens on the mat, on the field, or on the court. It's about using your platform to uplift others, to advocate for change, and to lead with authenticity. As we wrap up our celebration, let us reflect on the kind of legacy Simone is leaving, not just as an athlete, but as a role model for the generations to come.
Today, we began by sharing a moment by reflecting on the courage it takes to take a step away from your sport. The moment that Simone Biles stepped away from the pressure of performing, she began to build her true legacy. By tackling her mental health, she started on her path to greatness, finding her voice, her advocacy, and showcasing her strong commitment to her teammates and the sport she loves. We've walked through the inspiring life of Simone Biles, revealed the layers of her character, and established both a highly decorated and courageous gymnast. Her leadership has taken her to be an advocate for survivors and for mental wellness. Simone Biles has become more than just an athlete, symbolizing resilience, patience, and mental wellness. She is a strong woman representing how human even the most decorated athletes can be. It is with the utmost respect and admiration that we present this award to Simone Biles, for not just breaking titles and records, but for tearing down walls. We thank her for her authenticity, representation, and the legacy she will no doubt only continue to build. Thank you.